October 12, 2023, 4:17 p.m. Security cameras in the lobby of the Riverside Inn in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, capture a woman entering through the main doors. She's pulling a black rolling suitcase, carrying a laptop bag over her shoulder, wearing a navy blazer, white blouse, dark pants, professional attire, business traveler. Her name is Rebecca Lindstrom, 29 years old, marketing consultant from Minneapolis, Minnesota. She's in Cedar Rapids for work, has a client presentation scheduled for tomorrow morning. Biggest pitch of her career. She's been preparing for weeks. This presentation could change everything for her small consulting business. Rebecca walks to the front desk, sets her laptop bag on the counter, smiles at the clerk. She looks tired but relieved. 4-hour drive from Minneapolis. Traffic had been heavy. She's glad to finally arrive. Check in, get to her room, prepare for tomorrow. The desk clerk, a young woman named Sarah Martinez, greets her professionally. "Welcome to Riverside Inn. Checking in?" Rebecca confirms, provides her ID and credit card. Sarah processes the reservation. Room 412, 4th floor, king bed, workspace desk, high-speed internet, everything Rebecca requested when booking online 3 weeks ago. Sarah prints the key cards, hands them to Rebecca, along with a small map of the hotel. Breakfast is from 6 to 10 in the morning. Fitness center is on the 2nd floor, ice machine and vending on each floor. If you need anything, just call the front desk. Rebecca thanks her, takes the key cards, picks up her laptop bag, starts walking toward the elevator bank. Now watch carefully. Near the elevator, standing off to the side, a man in a maintenance uniform, navy blue work shirt with Riverside Inn facilities embroidered on the chest, gray work pants, work boots, tool belt around his waist. He's holding a clipboard, appears to be checking something on his phone. Routine hotel maintenance worker doing his job. But his eyes keep tracking Rebecca, watching her approach the elevators, watching her press the call button, watching her wait. His attention is focused on her, not on his clipboard, not on his phone, on Rebecca. His name is Kofi Mensah, 42 years old, immigrant from Ghana, moved to the United States 8 years ago, works as the facilities manager at Riverside Inn, responsible for maintenance, repairs, building operations, been employed there for 6 years, trusted employee, access to all areas of the hotel, master keys to every room. The elevator arrives. Rebecca enters, presses the button for the 4th floor. The doors close. Kofi watches the floor indicator above the elevator, watches it climb. 1, 2, 3, 4, stops. He makes a note on his clipboard, then walks toward the back hallway, employees-only area, disappears from lobby camera view. Rebecca exits the elevator on the 4th floor. Hallway cameras capture her walking down the corridor, looking for room 412. She finds it near the end of the hall, swipes her key card. Green light. Lock clicks. She opens the door, enters her room. The door closes behind her. Timestamp, 4:23 p.m. That's the last time Rebecca Lindstrom is seen alive on hotel security cameras. Within 14 hours, her client would be calling the hotel asking where she is. Within 24 hours, police would be searching her room. And within 1 week, investigators would learn that Kofi Mensah had been targeting solo female business travelers for months, recording them, stalking them. And on October 12th, he'd chosen Rebecca as his next victim. This is the story of Rebecca Lindstrom, how a routine business trip became a nightmare, how a hotel employee with access and opportunity became a predator, and how investigators pieced together what happened through security footage, digital evidence, and the disturbing contents found on Kofi's personal devices. Rebecca Marie Lindstrom was born in Duluth, Minnesota in 1994. She was the oldest of 2 daughters. Her father was a high school principal. Her mother worked as a physical therapist. They raised their daughters in a supportive, loving environment. Rebecca was outgoing, ambitious, smart, always had big plans. She excelled in school, participated in speech and debate, was editor of the school newspaper, graduated near the top of her class in 2012, attended University of Minnesota, studied marketing and communications. She was passionate about branding, about storytelling, about helping businesses connect with customers. She graduated in 2016, got a job at a marketing agency in Minneapolis, worked there for 3 years, learned the business, built relationships, developed skills, but she wanted more control, more creative freedom, more direct impact with clients. In 2019, Rebecca started her own consulting business, Lindstrom Marketing Solutions. It was risky, scary, but Rebecca was confident. She had the skills, the knowledge, the drive. She started small, a few local clients, word-of-mouth referrals, slowly built her portfolio, built her reputation. By 2023, her business was growing. She had steady clients, good income, room to expand, and she was pitching bigger companies, trying to land the kind of clients that would take her business to the next level. One of those potential clients was Heartland Agricultural Equipment, a mid-sized company based in Cedar Rapids. They were looking for a marketing consultant to help rebrand and expand their regional presence. Rebecca had submitted a proposal. They'd been impressed, invited her to present in person. This was exactly the kind of opportunity she'd been working toward. Rebecca prepared extensively, created detailed presentations, market analysis, strategy recommendations, creative concepts. She wanted this client, needed this client. This could establish her as a serious player, open doors to even bigger opportunities. She scheduled the presentation for Friday, October 13th at 9 a.m. Decided to drive to Cedar Rapids the day before. Stay overnight. Be fresh and ready for the morning. No rushing, no stress. Professional approach. She booked a room at the Riverside Inn online. Mid-range business hotel. Good reviews. Convenient location near the client's office. She reserved for Thursday night. Check out Friday after the presentation. Rebecca told her family about the trip. Told her younger sister Emma she'd call Friday after the presentation. Let her know how it went. Emma wished her luck, said she'd be thinking of her. Rebecca left Minneapolis around noon on Thursday, October 12th. 4-hour drive. She stopped once for gas and coffee. Texted Emma from the gas station. Halfway there, traffic is fine. Excited and nervous. Talk tomorrow. That was the last text Emma received from Rebecca. Rebecca arrived at Riverside Inn at 4:15 p.m., parked in the hotel lot, grabbed her suitcase and laptop bag from her car, walked into the lobby, checked in at 4:17 p.m., went up to room 412 at 4:23 p.m. Hotel records show Rebecca called the front desk at 4:47 p.m., asked about restaurants nearby. Sarah at the front desk recommended 3 options within walking distance. Rebecca thanked her. That was the last known communication from Rebecca to anyone at the hotel. At 5:32 p.m., someone used a master key to enter room 412. Hotel electronic lock system records every entry, every key card swipe, every master key access. The 5:32 p.m. entry was logged as Facilities Master Key 03. That key was assigned to Kofi Mensah. The door was opened, then closed 3 minutes later at 5:35 p.m. 3 minutes inside Rebecca's room. What happened during those 3 minutes would only be revealed later through other evidence. But hotel records showed Kofi had accessed the room while Rebecca was inside. At 6:18 p.m., the room door opened again. Hallway cameras showed Kofi exiting room 412, carrying a large black trash bag, the kind used for hotel linens. He walked down the hallway, took the service elevator, not visible to guest cameras, went down to the basement, entered the laundry room, an area without security cameras. Kofi was in the laundry room for approximately 27 minutes, then left through the basement exit to the employee parking area, also not covered by cameras, got into his vehicle, a white panel van, drove away from the hotel. He returned at 7:51 p.m., parked, entered through the employee entrance, went back to the laundry room, then back up to the 4th floor via service elevator, back to room 412, used his master key again at 8:02 p.m., entered the room, stayed inside for 8 minutes, exited at 8:10 p.m., walked to the service elevator, left the floor. Rebecca was never seen on camera again after 4:23 p.m. when she entered her room. Her room door only opened when Kofi used his master key. She never left through the main door, never went to dinner, never came back, just vanished. October 13th, Friday morning, 8:45 a.m. Michael Henderson from Heartland Agricultural Equipment called the hotel, asked to be connected to Rebecca Lindstrom in room 412. She had a presentation scheduled at 9, wanted to confirm she was on her way. Front desk called the room. No answer. Called again. No answer. They told Michael there was no answer. He asked them to try one more time. Still no answer. Michael was concerned. This was unusual. Rebecca had been very professional in all communications, very responsive. It wasn't like her to not show up. He tried calling her cell phone, straight to voicemail. Tried again, same result. By 9:30 a.m., Michael was worried enough to drive to the hotel. Asked the front desk to check on Rebecca. Said she'd had a presentation this morning. Hadn't shown up. Wasn't answering her room phone or cell phone. Could someone check if she was okay? The desk clerk, different person from Thursday, called the manager. The manager went to room 412, knocked, called out, "Ms. Lindstrom, this is hotel management. Are you there? You have a visitor in the lobby." No response. The manager used his master key, opened the door. The room was empty, but disturbing. The bed was made. Hotel housekeeping hadn't been in yet, so either Rebecca had made the bed herself, or it had never been slept in. Her suitcase was gone. Her laptop bag was gone. Nothing visible in the room that belonged to her. But something felt wrong. The manager couldn't put his finger on it. Just a feeling. He backed out, called the front desk, told them to call police. Something wasn't right. Cedar Rapids Police Department responded. Officers arrived, interviewed the manager, Michael Henderson, the front desk clerk. Learned that Rebecca had checked in yesterday. Was supposed to have a presentation this morning. Didn't show up. Room appears empty. No sign of her. Police searched the room more thoroughly. Found Rebecca's toiletries in the bathroom. Shampoo, toothbrush, makeup bag. Items you don't leave behind if you check out. Found her phone charger plugged in next to the bed. Found a pair of shoes in the closet. Rebecca hadn't checked out. She'd just disappeared. Police tried calling Rebecca's cell phone. Voicemail. They called her emergency contact, her parents, asked if they'd heard from Rebecca. They said no. She was supposed to call yesterday when she arrived. They'd assumed she was busy preparing. They tried calling her this morning. No answer. Now they were terrified. Police began treating this as a missing person case. They requested all hotel security footage, wanted to trace Rebecca's movements, see when she left, who she might have been with, what had happened. They reviewed the footage. Saw Rebecca check in at 4:17 p.m. Saw her go to her room at 4:23 p.m. Never saw her leave. Checked all exit cameras, parking lot cameras, lobby cameras, elevator cameras. Rebecca didn't appear on any of them after entering her room. Then they checked the electronic lock logs, saw the master key entries, 5:32 p.m., 8:02 p.m. Someone had entered Rebecca's room using a master key. Twice. Who had master key access? Hotel management provided a list. Housekeeping supervisors, engineering staff, facilities manager. Who was working Thursday evening? Who had access? They identified Kofi Mensah, facilities manager. He'd been on duty Thursday, had master key access. Police asked to speak with him. Before we continue with the investigation and what happened to Rebecca, if cases like this matter to you, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. We cover real cases, real investigations. We show how evidence reveals truth and how justice works. Hit like if you think Rebecca's story deserves to be told. Comment your thoughts. Because what investigators discovered in Kofi's background and devices revealed this wasn't his first victim. Hotel management called Kofi, asked him to come in to speak with police. He arrived within 20 minutes, seemed cooperative, concerned, asked what was going on. Police explained. A guest had gone missing. Rebecca Lindstrom, room 412. They were trying to understand her movements. Electronic logs showed a master key had accessed her room Thursday evening. Twice. That key was assigned to him. Could he explain? Kofi seemed confused. Said he hadn't been in room 412 yesterday. Hadn't had any reason to. No maintenance requests for that room. No work orders. Maybe the log was wrong. Maybe someone else used his key. Police asked where his master key was. Kofi reached for his tool belt. His key ring wasn't there. He looked confused. Said he must have left it in his locker in the employee break room. They walked there together, opened his locker. The key ring was inside, with the master key. So either Kofi was lying about not accessing the room, or someone else had taken his key, used it, then returned it to his locker. Police asked Kofi about his whereabouts Thursday evening. He said he'd worked until 6 p.m., then left. Went home, came back around 8 for about 30 minutes, had forgotten his phone charger, grabbed it from his locker, then went home again. Didn't work on anything related to room 412. Police asked if they could review the employee entrance security footage. Verify Kofi's statement. Hotel provided the footage. Showed Kofi leaving through employee exit at 6:18 p.m., returning at 7:51 p.m., leaving again at 8:17 p.m. The timing matched what he'd said, except the lock log showed master key access to room 412 during those times. Police asked if they could search Kofi's vehicle. Kofi agreed, said he had nothing to hide, wanted to help find Rebecca. Police searched his white panel van, found something in the cargo area, a small piece of navy fabric, looked like it could be from a blazer, similar to what Rebecca had been wearing in the lobby footage. They also found cleaning supplies, bleach, paper towels, trash bags. Kofi explained those were normal supplies. He used his van for work sometimes, transported materials, picked up supplies. Cleaning products were standard. Police weren't convinced. They asked Kofi to come to the station, answer more questions. Kofi said he wanted to talk to a lawyer first. Police said that was his right, but his cooperation would be appreciated. Kofi declined, said he'd done nothing wrong but wanted legal advice before continuing. That response raised suspicion. Police obtained a search warrant for Kofi's home, executed it Friday evening. What they found was deeply disturbing. In Kofi's bedroom, they found a laptop. Digital forensics revealed it contained folders with hundreds of photos. Photos of women, guests at the hotel, taken without their knowledge. Photos from security camera feeds Kofi had access to. Photos taken from outside room windows. Photos showing women in various states of undress through gaps in curtains. Kofi had been surveilling female hotel guests for months, selecting targets, documenting them, creating files with their names, room numbers, check-in dates. They also found videos, recorded using hidden cameras Kofi had installed in certain hotel rooms. Rooms he knew were commonly assigned to solo female travelers. The cameras were tiny, hidden in smoke detectors, in air vents, in digital clocks, transmitting wirelessly to Kofi's laptop. The videos showed women in private moments, undressing, sleeping, showering, completely unaware they were being recorded. This was systematic, organized. Kofi had been doing this for a long time. Police also found items in Kofi's apartment that didn't belong to him. Women's clothing, jewelry, a laptop bag that looked identical to the one Rebecca had been carrying, personal items taken as trophies. Kofi Mensah was arrested Friday night, charged with kidnapping, unlawful surveillance, and suspicion of murder. Police still didn't know where Rebecca was, but evidence suggested Kofi had taken her. Over the weekend, police expanded their search, used cell tower data to track Kofi's movements Thursday evening. His phone had pinged near the hotel, then moved south, out of Cedar Rapids, toward a rural area about 20 miles away. Police identified the area: farmland, woods, few houses. They organized search teams, brought in K9 units, searched properties, looked for any sign of Rebecca, any evidence of where Kofi had taken her. On October 16th, 4 days after Rebecca's disappearance, search teams found something. On an abandoned property off a rural road, a black trash bag, partially buried in a wooded area. Inside was Rebecca's suitcase, her laptop bag, her clothing, her phone, everything she'd brought to Cedar Rapids, everything except Rebecca. K9 units alerted nearby. Cadaver dogs. Teams searched more intensively. Found disturbed earth about 50 feet from where the bags were buried. Excavated carefully. Found Rebecca Lindstrom. She'd been deceased for approximately 4 days. Medical examiner determined cause of death as asphyxiation. She'd been attacked in her hotel room, then transported, then buried. The discovery devastated her family. Michael Henderson, who'd been the one to raise the alarm, was horrified. Rebecca's parents, her sister Emma, everyone who knew her was destroyed. This bright, ambitious young woman, gone, killed by someone who should have been part of hotel security, someone who should have protected guests. Kofi was charged with first-degree murder, additional charges of voyeurism, stalking, burglary, and abuse of a corpse. His attorney tried to negotiate, but evidence was overwhelming. The surveillance footage showing his vehicle leaving at the exact times that matched the room access logs. The fabric in his van matching Rebecca's blazer. The laptop with photos and videos of hotel guests including Rebecca. The items in his apartment including Rebecca's laptop bag. Digital forensics revealed more. Kofi had been watching Rebecca since the moment she checked in. The lobby camera footage. He'd seen her arrive, seen her go to her room, then access the hotel's internal camera system. Watched her through a hidden camera he'd installed in room 412 weeks earlier. Waited until she was settled, then used his master key to enter. Kofi had attacked Rebecca in her room, incapacitated her, then used hotel trash bags and laundry carts to transport her through service corridors, areas without guest cameras, down to the laundry room, into his van, out of the hotel without being seen on any guest-accessible camera. He'd driven to the rural property, a place he'd scouted previously, buried her belongings, buried her, returned to the hotel, went back to her room, cleaned, removed any obvious evidence, made the bed to make it look like she'd never slept there, took anything that might immediately indicate she'd been in the room. He thought he'd gotten away with it, thought he'd covered his tracks, but digital evidence doesn't lie. Electronic locks record every entry, cell towers track every phone, and investigators piece together truth even when predators try to hide it. The trial began in June 2024. Prosecutors presented systematic evidence, security footage, electronic lock logs, digital forensics from Kofi's laptop, the hidden cameras, the photos, the videos, testimony from other hotel guests who'd stayed in rooms where Kofi had installed cameras, women who'd been surveilled without knowing, women who'd been violated. Rebecca's family testified. Emma spoke about her sister, her ambition, her kindness, her excitement about the presentation, the last text message she'd sent, excited and nervous. Talk tomorrow. Tomorrow never came, because Kofi decided Rebecca was a target. The defense tried to argue evidence was circumstantial, that Kofi had access to the room didn't prove he'd harmed Rebecca, that the items in his apartment could have been obtained legitimately, that the surveillance was wrong but didn't make him a killer. But prosecutors demolished that argument, showed the timeline, the digital evidence, the cell tower data, the forensic evidence linking Kofi to the burial site, the fabric in his van. Everything pointed to Kofi. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. July 15, 2024, verdict returned. Kofi Mensah, guilty of first-degree murder, guilty of kidnapping, guilty of unlawful surveillance, guilty on all counts. Sentencing came 2 weeks later. The judge's statement was scathing. Mr. Mensah, you were entrusted with the safety and security of hotel guests. You had access to their rooms, access to security systems, access to their private spaces. Instead of protecting them, you preyed on them. You installed hidden cameras. You recorded women without consent. You violated their privacy in the most invasive ways possible. And Rebecca Lindstrom. She came to your hotel for a business trip. She trusted she would be safe. She had no reason to fear. You targeted her. You used your position, your access, your knowledge of the building. You entered her room. You attacked her. You killed her. You disposed of her body like she was nothing. You will never harm another person. You will spend the rest of your life in prison. Kofi Mensah was sentenced to life without possibility of parole. Additional consecutive sentences for other charges. He'll die in prison. He showed no remorse, no emotion, just silence. He's currently incarcerated at Iowa State Penitentiary, maximum security. The case led to major changes in hotel security protocols, not just at Riverside Inn but across the industry. Enhanced background checks for employees with room access, routine sweeps for hidden cameras, electronic lock systems that flag unusual access patterns, requirements that master key usage be logged and reviewed. Riverside Inn paid a settlement to Rebecca's family, acknowledged security failures, committed to implementing new protocols. The hotel has since been sold, rebranded, under new management with entirely new security systems. Rebecca's family established the Rebecca Lindstrom Solo Traveler Safety Foundation, providing education about hotel safety, teaching people how to check for hidden cameras, how to secure hotel rooms, how to recognize warning signs, resources for business travelers, especially women traveling alone. Emma Lindstrom became an advocate, speaks at conferences, hotels, business organizations, tells Rebecca's story, makes sure people understand the risks, makes sure hotels understand their responsibility to protect guests. If this case affected you, hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. Share your thoughts on hotel safety and traveler protection. This channel covers real cases, real investigations, real victims who deserve justice. Hit like if you think Rebecca's story matters. Share if you think travelers need to know these risks. Kofi Mensah used his position to prey on vulnerable guests, used his access to violate privacy, used his knowledge to avoid detection. He targeted solo female travelers, women he could surveil, women he could attack without immediate witnesses. Rebecca was doing everything right, staying at a reputable hotel, in a safe room, with security systems. She had no way to know the facility's manager was a predator, had no way to detect the hidden cameras, had no reason to suspect danger. Remember Rebecca Lindstrom, 29 years old, marketing consultant, building her business, pursuing her dreams. She went to Cedar Rapids for the biggest presentation of her career, never got to give it, because Kofi Mensah decided her life was his to take. Thank you for watching, for caring, for learning from Rebecca's story. If you travel for business, for pleasure, for any reason, be aware. Check your hotel room when you arrive. Look for hidden cameras. Use privacy tools. Trust your instincts. Report anything suspicious. Check for cameras and smoke detectors, clocks, vents, mirrors. Use a flashlight. Look for unusual small holes. Cover any suspicious areas. Request room changes if something feels wrong. Because Rebecca couldn't have known, couldn't have detected Kofi's cameras, couldn't have prevented what he did, but her story can help protect others, can educate travelers, can push hotels to do better. Hotel cameras captured Rebecca's final movements, showed her checking in at 4:17 p.m., showed her going to her room at 4:23 p.m., showed her trusting that she was safe. She wasn't, because Kofi was watching, waiting, planning. Justice was served. Kofi will die in prison, but Rebecca is still gone. Her family still grieves, her dreams still unfulfilled. This was Rebecca's story. This is why hotel safety matters. This is why we demand accountability from hotels. This is why we remember. Never forget that predators can hide anywhere, even behind employee uniforms, even in positions of trust, even in places we think are safe. Stay aware. Stay vigilant. Honor Rebecca by protecting yourself and others, by demanding better security, by never forgetting that safety requires constant attention. Rebecca Lindstrom, 29 years old, ambitious, talented, gone too soon. Her story a tragedy, her memory a call to action. Kofi Mensah will never be free. That's justice. But Rebecca will never give that presentation, will never build her business further, will never achieve the dreams she worked so hard for. That's the loss we must never forget. This was her story. This is why we tell it. This is why we remember Rebecca Lindstrom. Woman traveling alone checked into a hotel. Cameras captured her entering, but the cameras didn't capture what happened inside her room, didn't capture the facility's manager using his master key, didn't prevent what he did. Stay safe. Honor Rebecca. Remember her story, and fight for a world where business travelers can check into hotels safely, where employees protect rather than prey, where hidden cameras are detected and prevented. Rebecca deserved better. We all do. That's why we remember. That's why we share. That's why we never stop demanding safety and justice. Rest in peace, Rebecca Lindstrom. Your story will protect others. Your memory will inspire change. Justice was served, and you will never be forgotten.